Okay, tell me when you're ready.
All right. So, welcome to the Bomb Squad team call. It is, I guess, Thursday night, June 28th, and it happens to be like a few days after we all came back from the 2018 Coach Summit in Indianapolis. So, for those of you that are on, thanks for hopping on, and we're going to try to talk about some of our takeaways from Indianapolis. And if you were not there, that's okay. Hopefully, you'll be able to soak in some of the info that we share here. There's a lot of videos that Coach Scott has dropped into the Bomb Squad team page that you can watch to see some of the events and some of the topics and trainings that happened at Summit. And you should check out the ticket sale prices because right now they're really cheap. So you can come back to Indy with us next year for Coach Summit 2019. Definitely check out your back office for all that information. But first things first, we're going to go through some of these tips and things that we took away from Summit that we're going to try to start implementing, and Gabby's going to start us off.
Okay, so I posted this in our thread, but I know not everybody's in there, so I'm going to kind of go over it. First of all, I got a journal to get my freaking life together. You would think how OCD I am, I would have one already, but I didn't. So what I've been doing is putting like a daily to-do list, and oh my God, again, my OCD, I'm like, yay, check mark, I feel so good about myself. I put my shake on there, my workout on there, super easy things like she said, but I think that's part of being a circle for those of you know what that means. So I wrote down like 6 action steps because I didn't, number one, want to overwhelm myself with the so many things that are going on in my mind. But I knew I didn't want to also just let it sit either. So I chose like 6 things. I felt like that was like doable. And I wrote them down. And these are like kind of 6 new things too. So it's not like things I've been doing constantly. So I'm just going to like list, if you have any questions, just let me know. But these are just some of the things I've been doing over the past few days. And I don't know if it's just the like coming off of Summit like hype or if it's just I'm doing new things and it's working. But number one is I'm doing way more polls on Instagram stories. And at first I felt like I'm not really getting much from this. But I don't know if that's the case. I think I wasn't doing anything from what I was getting from it. So like even now I get like 1 or 2 people that aren't a coach and I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. I got 2 people. Before I was like, oh my God, literally 76 people watched this and 2 people commented on it. So I think it might just be my change in mindset and what I'm doing with it. But I've been getting a lot of conversations started through doing polls. And they can be polls. I did polls about Stranger Things yesterday. Like, oh my God, my husband got me hooked on Netflix. Like, Stranger Things, what do you think? And I like listed and I had like 7 people comment, but 4 weren't coaches. So I reached out to them and I was like, hey, Stranger Things, what do you think? Oh my God, you said it was amazing. I think it's amazing. And then we started talking. And then I just finally, after 2 years, posted my first workout clips on Instagram stories. Only took forever. And this is kind of part of the polls. For the past 5 days, and I've actually got the most likes and comments on posts in the last 5 days than I've had in the last like 2 years. So because I'm focusing more on quality, not quantity. So I messaged every single person who liked or commented on my post or took my poll in the last 4 days using the script that Jenna took from Ashley Molstad, who was one of the speakers. I'll let you know what that is. I kind of switched it around, so I'll let you know what that is in a minute. But thank you, because I was like, how did I not write that down? That was like the best thing that was said in all of Summit. I said focus on more quality. Oh, liking and commenting on Instagram posts when searching hashtags. So I'll like search hashtag foodie, and I'm like, I like that picture and that picture and that picture and that picture. And I try to like posts that don't have a lot of likes, if that makes sense. So like somebody has like 10 likes, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna like your post. And then I've gotten a lot of like friends or followers, I guess, on Instagram through that. And then I've just been adding people to my Facebook network like no other. Like I've been joining groups and I'm like, add friend. Like I used to be like, oh, hey, girl, how are you? I see we're in the same group. And I'm like, you know what? No. Add friend, add friend, add friend, add friend. If they don't want to add me, they don't want to add me. But I think I got like 46 friends in the last 2 days just because I keep pressing add friend. So at least it's more people seeing my posts, which is good. And then real quick, because I know I'm taking a lot of time, sorry, is I wanted to say what I've been sending everybody. Okay, so everybody that's posted or liked or commented on anything I posted in the last few days, I send them a message and it says, hey there, thanks for your support on my post. I always hesitate putting myself out there, so I appreciate any love I can get. Every single person has responded. So it's not even a yes or no. I questioned it because I didn't like leave like a question out there for people to answer me, but I was putting myself out there, so people responded. So usually I got a response like, oh my gosh, awesome to see you embrace. This was what I got. Awesome to see you embrace strength. Keep on killing it, girlfriend. That was like one of the person's comments. So my second comment is almost always the same. And I said, oh, thank you. I need to stop worrying about what other people think. That's totally relatable and that's totally what I'm thinking. I just love what I'm doing and I'm passionate about it and want to share so I can help others. And then I'm like, how's your summer been? And we've just been talking. So I'm not even saying that any of these have resulted in like coaching opportunities or challenge or anything, but I've started more conversations in the last 3 days than I've started in the 2 years that I've been coaching. So I feel like I call that a win. I don't care if it leads to anything or not, but just the fact that I'm putting myself out there and starting conversations, I think is a win in itself. That's all.
Thanks. I think that that's really helpful actually, because a lot of the things and topics that they talked about at Summit revolved around being someone's friend and being there for someone and building trust. And like, that's what you're doing. You're just building relationships, talking to these people by sending them messages, because then now they're going to know that like, oh, you're cool to talk to and you're sharing your life, and they can follow along and they're going to watch you work out now on your Instagram.
I know. And the one girl was like, at our age, like, you can't worry about that stuff anymore. We're too old for that. And I'm like, you're totally right. You should be a coach.
Yeah.
By the way, real quick, if you guys are reading or haven't read The Girl Wash Your Face, so before we got on this call, I was reading chapter 14. If you literally just want to get it to read this chapter, that's fine. It's called I'm a Terrible Writer, which you would think really wouldn't have to do anything with your life. If you are worried about what other people think, read this chapter 37 times. Because I read it and was like, you're right. I'm not caring anymore. I'm done. Like, I'm forget this. Like, and I just keep rereading it every time I'm worried about what other people think, because she hit it like spot on. So she was saying that she wrote a book and that there was like 1 million good reviews and then there was one bad review. And she like harped on that and was like, I'm a terrible writer. I suck at life. I shouldn't do this anymore. And then she said after that she stopped listening to reviews. She stopped reading them. She goes, I don't even know if you like my book because I don't read them anymore. But it was just a really good chapter of not giving a shit. Sorry if there's kids eventually listening to this. Not giving a shit about what other people think. So if you're thinking about that and you're feeling the same way as I do, that's a really good book and a really good chapter. FYI.
Can you give us the name of the book and the author again?
Yeah, it's called Girl Wash Your Face. I don't know if you can say, I know it's backward, and it's by Rachel Hollis.
Actually, it's not backwards.
Oh, it's backwards for me.
Yeah, I think it flips it around.
Also, if you get Success Club this month, you get a podcast from her.
Oh, hello.
So you got 3 more days to get a podcast from her.
3 people is what Success Club is, guys. You only have to help 3 people. And then you earn that webcast with Rachel Hollis this month. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's really exciting. So I'm gunning for it. I'm sure you guys are too.
Yeah.
That's really, really neat. So what else is in that? Just if you could give us like a quick rundown of that book, because you kind of just gave us one chapter.
Yeah, for sure. So
of the book that you've read so far.
Yeah, so it's the like subtitle is called Stop Believing the Lies About Who You Are So You Can Become Who You Were Meant to Be. And what's really cool is every chapter is broken down into a lie that you've believed about yourself in the past. So, and these are things that she's believed about herself, and then a story about how she's overcome it. So, like, the chapter 1, the lie, someone else will make you happy. Chapter 2, I'll start tomorrow. Chapter 3, I'm not good enough. So these are things like you tell yourself that kind of bring you down. My favorite one is so far is I'm going to marry Matt Damon. She literally, I don't want to ruin this, but like that lie in her head brought her to LA, ended up getting her this amazing job because she was stalking Matt Damon.
Oh,
like
wow.
She was following her dream of marrying Matt Damon. She didn't marry Matt Damon, but she got really far in trying to do so. But the one, like I said, that I just read is I'm a terrible writer. And that was really good. So I just really like it because it's real. It's such an easy read. Like she's just telling stories about her life. Hi, Ella. She's just telling stories about her life. So it's not difficult. It's not like you're trying to get through it. It's really like relatable because a lot of times the stories she's telling are stories that you've had going on in your life. So.
That sounds really interesting. I have the book. I'm a couple chapters in on the audiobook. And
it's probably my favorite one so far.
I'm going to try to listen to the rest of it on my road trip this weekend. So
good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Jenna, do you have any takeaways? I don't want to interrupt you if you guys are busy or if you have to drive or anything.
Well, we just got finished at Ella's swim lesson, so
but I just want to go.
Anyways, I think for me, my biggest takeaway was just do something. Like anything. Ella, stop, honey. Anything, like just anything. Like just post it. Like if it comes in your mind, don't wait or don't think about it or don't try to like perfect it. Just do it. Just make it happen. And then second thing was like I guess just being consistent and following up with people and like you said, Gabby, like not being afraid of what they're gonna think of you. Just go for it because you know that what you're trying to do is you're trying to do something good to help them, and instead of thinking like, oh, maybe they're gonna think like they're not gonna like me or they're not gonna want to be my friend or whatever thought comes into your head. I don't know, a million things come into my head when I'm afraid to reach out to somebody. But I don't know, those were kind of my biggest takeaways. And one thing that I found is in the coach back office, there is, I can't think of what it's called right now, and I wish I had brought it with me, but it's like an activity checklist. And so it has, Ella, hold on one second, please. I don't know, honey. It's like an activity track out. It has your Shakeology. It has like follow up with three people to your. It has like kind of this checklist, and some of the stuff, I'm just not there because I don't have 3 people to like, I don't know, whatever. 3 people to I don't know, whatever it was, like congratulate them on their achievements. I'm like, I don't really have that yet because I don't have a team. But
I'm going to stop you because you can recognize 3 people that has nothing to do with Beachbody.
Well, actually, it's funny that you say that because that was actually an idea that I literally had walking into swim. I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to start picking every Saturday. And I don't know what I had. I had a great name for it. I should have written it down. But it was like, I don't know, say something Saturday. And I was going to pick out whoever that person like
Tiffany
just stand out Saturday. I think that's what it was. And I was going to pick out whatever person stood out to me that week, whether it was like they encouraged me or somebody that like brightened my day or somebody that I thought needed encouragement.
Or I know who brightened her day.
Well, she does brighten my day.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, but just like whoever.
I can be a Beachbody because I'm a kid.
Yeah, you can't be a coach yet.
Yeah, but I sort of am because I do workouts sometimes, and I even have my Shakeology.
You just need 12 more years, Ella, or 11 more years. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's 5.5.
Exactly. 5.5.
I was close.
Yes.
5.5.
Okay. Get dressed, girl.
You're an honorary team member, Ella.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, I even have a pizza shirt.
She has a
You
pizza
even
shirt
have
today.
your own shaker cup, I saw.
There's a pizza on it.
Anywho, so that was kind of something that came into my head is I'm like, oh, well, maybe I don't need to recognize somebody on my team just yet because I don't really have a team just yet. But I could pick out somebody, and that would be like good, a good thing to do. Just, I don't know, sounds like a nice thing to do for a person and make their day. So yeah, so that's something that I'm thinking of doing. So yeah, those were kind of my biggest takeaways. Just do something and
I got this cute little
just
hat.
keep doing things. I've been posting like a ton on social media, which is really kind of fun and also not like me, but it's also been kind of good because I'm just like, oh, this is a good thing. I'm just going to post it. Or this is really cute. I'm going to post it. Or
Oh, you have actually.
like this morning I did a tour of my garden and I had like 10,
Oh, yeah. Our
10
garden is beautiful.
and I
saw
had like
that.
10 people watching it. I was like, oh, this is cool. I didn't even know anybody would actually watch anything that I did. I thought like nobody cared. So
I keep picking.
See, we need to stop second guessing ourselves.
yes. So that was what I just did, like almost like the same mentality of like push play, just Ella, stop, honey. Just do it. Don't think about it too much. Just make it happen. So that's kind of been how I've been going at it this week. And you know, I don't have any new people on my team, so that's kind of disappointing. But
Are you there? Oh no.
Well, that's my mommy.
Ella. I need you to stop, honey. I need you to stop. So, anywho, that's that.
All right, Jenna, we can hear you. Your picture on my screen's frozen, and I'm sure you're on your phone, so you probably didn't see that Coach Scott sent some stuff over on the chat. Oh, there, your video's back.
I'm back.
Scott said that he liked your shout out Saturday, and he said that you have a rock star team with your mom and your hubby.
What? Oh, no.
Oh,
Hello, guys. That's my new towel.
but I
I
really
think
like
I'm
your
frozen.
I got my new
Jenna.
towel.
Stop.
Why are you always interrupting?
And the one thing that Jenna actually just brought up, there were two things. So the one thing that I was going to touch on really quick that hopefully, Jenna, you're still listening, where you kind of said you're like worried about people judging you or like worried about if they, like if you say something to someone or if they're not going to be okay with it. Gabby and I talked a little bit about something this week where she was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna talk to somebody, and she's like, I think that we're gonna try to meet up with them on like the 18th or 19th, and I was like, of July. So
I tried, and that's to tell Kara, and that's what they said they could meet. I don't know.
well, and I just wanted to let you guys all kind of hear my thoughts on like waiting until the 18th or 19th. Like that's almost a whole month away. If I would have waited a month starting my journey, I would not have lost the 17 pounds. And like, I may not be where I am today. I may have like decided to go somewhere else. I may have like decided to give up. So kind of, I wanted everyone to sort of think of like what you're doing to help them and like what we have to provide to them and like how much pride and I guess, I don't even know what to say. Like I'm just so prideful of the products and what we have to offer that I know it can help someone if they start today and on the 18th, like they could lose 17 pounds like I did. Like that's 3 weeks away. So those are the things that I want to try to share with those people because like it's selfish for us to keep it to ourselves. So sharing it with them and just kind of reminding them of their goals and what we have to offer for them is kind of what I started focusing on because I was the same way. And I realized if Scott would not have mentioned it a little bit to me, I probably would never be here and I wouldn't be on this call with you guys. So it was definitely helpful for me. But the second thing that Jenna mentioned kind of had to do with one of the speakers at Summit said, like, start your day by sending like a nice message to somebody, just anybody. Like every single day he sent a message to somebody. And I decided to start doing that. And I really like it. I started with some of you guys on the team. So some of you know I sent you like nice little messages, like thanking you for coming to Summit and things like that. And then I started with my friends, like one person a day, just giving them their little shout out Saturday or whatever. And it's been good because it, like, of course, makes people feel good. It makes me feel good, but it's another way to like talk to your friends and continue a relationship, and you're not talking about like Beachbody or anything like that. So that's kind of my main takeaway is I started doing that for my friends and all the folks on the team. Any other thoughts? I know the rest of you guys look like you're muted. I know we probably only have about like 6 more minutes on our 40-minute call here. But I'm glad you were able to hop on. Oh, hey, Brandy.
Hey, I'm sorry. We just sat down to eat dinner, so that's why I'm not chiming in. I know it's really late, but
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if you have anything you want to offer, go ahead and you can chat. If not, we can chat about some other things and you can just keep listening.
well, my biggest thing is I just need to get over myself. Get over the fear that I have and just get over myself. That's my biggest takeaway.
And you have so much to share, Brandy. So you guys don't know this, but I was like creeping on Brandy's page and I saw like I don't even know when the one picture was from, but I noticed a picture that Cloud posted for Brandy's birthday. And I was like, oh my God, this doesn't even look like Brandy. So I like pulled 2 of her pictures and threw them in Photofy and I sent them to Brandy. And I was like, honey, how much weight have you lost? Because these pictures look amazing. Because I think it's like half of a person. I couldn't believe it. And so, Brandy, you have a lot to share with people because your transformation's amazing. And you've lost, I don't know, she said over 60-some pounds. And these programs are really, 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 really helping you. And I love that we have you on the team and that you're able to share this. And, like, you're a great role model for little Briella and everybody else in your family.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I might use that picture on Tuesday that you sent me.
Oh, yeah. You might want to, like, I just did it super fast. You might want to, like, actually make it look a little better. I didn't take much time to do it. I just was like, I have to put these next to each other. Like, I have to see them.
Well, thank you. That was nice.
No, you're welcome. Anything else that you remember from Summit? Like, any thoughts from it being your first Summit?
I was surprised. Like, I thought, like I'd be the biggest person there, or I know Cloud thought she'd be like one of the older people there, but there was so many different types of people there. I was surprised.
Did they do the weight loss shout outs in your hall where they like ask people to come up on stage if they lost like 100 pounds or more?
Yes.
Do you remember like the people that were on the stage and how much like weight they'd lost?
I think the most was like 180.
I know, isn't it crazy?
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy. And I think what actually blows my mind and like puts some of it like it's so into perspective of what we can provide to people. In my hall, because I know we were all in different halls at Summit for the trainings and everything, but in my hall, like the people that are up on that stage that are saying they lost over 100 pounds, some of them 200 pounds, like they aren't twigs. Like they're not models. They're still on their journey. They're still like doing this. They're still going hard. And for some of them, you're like, holy crap, like I would never think that you lost 200 pounds, but like you did, and you're here.
Right.
Amazing.
Well, I posted on my Insta stories, I said next year I'm going to be on that stage.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that goal. I'm so excited for you.
So, yeah. My biggest takeaway was just get over yourself. It's about helping people. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Right now as I'm eating.
No, thank you so much. I'm sorry to interrupt dinner time. So thank the hubby and little Miss Briella for us.
Okay, will do.
Well, hello there, Coach Scott. Does that mean you want to talk?
I'll unmute myself anytime Brandy says she's going to be on stage at Summit. I figure that's worth an unmute. Sorry, I was in the minivan,
Thanks.
but it's probably better that you're welcome. It's probably better that in the minivan I could stay muted and I was less distracting for Ella. The only thing I want to say that helped me years ago, I have had all of these same thoughts that all of you mentioned, of course, like we all have, and we still will continue to have. And Gabby gave good advice on chapters of that book. But I don't know if I heard someone say this somewhere or I read it. They said maybe, you don't think anyone would listen to what you have to say. So maybe you're picturing the wrong person at first. So like, for example, when I was 235 pounds, I was picturing trying to help someone who was 180 pounds. But if I could have pictured someone who was 600 pounds, then I was like, oh, I could probably help a 600-pound person lose 5 pounds. So, as your coaches, as you build a team, and everybody's going to have those same doubts, especially if they need to go on their own fitness journey, that they could help someone. Just make sure they're picturing a person in their mind who they actually could help. And we're not going to help Shaun T probably. Shaun T doesn't really need us. So picture the right person when you're making your post or when you get down or whatever. Because I know there's somebody I can help. I mean, I can't help everybody, but I definitely know that there's one person out there that could use a little bit of what we learned over the last months and years and weekend or whatever. Thanks for having the call, Liz.
Thanks for hopping on. I'm glad that everyone was able to chat a little bit. I don't think I have anything else. If there's anything else that you guys want to chat about here.
I just wanted to, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying Thursdays were a good time for team calls, but go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say one thing that, a really interesting thought that came to me since I've been home, and something I was thinking about is Brianna said to me multiple times, she's like, Jenna, you're so positive. I want to be like you. Why are you so happy? And I'm like, you know what? That's actually really interesting that you pointed that out, because I am somebody who is not really known for being that happy. And for somebody that has really struggled with a lot of, emotional issues. And so for me, I realized those are the people that I need to be looking out for. I'm not the person who's going to lose a ton of weight. That's never going to be me. And I'm sure I could help somebody lose weight if that was their goal, of course. But, I realized I'm like, oh, well, that's who I need to be looking out for, because that's where the area of my life that has really improved is just feeling like a more positive, happy person more often than not. So that was kind of something that came to me. And I think a lot of times, I know you guys, almost every one of you have a weight loss story. Well, I don't have that. So I was kind of struggling to have a vision for, well, how am I going to help people? who are going to be my people? Who is going to be the person that, I probably could reach with my story? And so that was something that kind of came to me that I wanted to share with you guys, because that may not be the most obvious crowd of people to help. A lot of times people who have emotional issues, they don't talk about them, or they don't say anything about it. They just kind of keep it to themselves. So that was kind of a big epiphany that I had this week. And I started to think about those people and speaking to them a little bit in my posts, not really completely, but, talking about being happy or positive, or showing things that make me happy, things that make me smile or might make somebody else smile, and just sharing the positivity that is in my life.
I thought of one more thing. Hashtag current situation, because we left a hotel room, what we have adjoining rooms with 9 people. Now I'm in three adjoining condos with 13 people. So I appreciate you guys and your positive attitudes last week. It's getting a little crazy. That's all.
I love it, Jenna. You're going to help a lot of people. You may not believe it now, but I just know it. You have the ability to help tons of people.
I agree.
Thanks, guys.
Where's Scott? I want to talk to Scott. Where's Scott?
Ella just loves Scott.
I just want to talk to Scott.
I know.
What's
We'll
up?
have to call him.
Yeah, we'll have to talk. Ella, we'll have to talk off of here. We don't want to take up all the recording time, but nice to hear your voice. Thank you for the tour of your garden, little butterfly.
Thank you. I have my butterfly costume too.
Anyhow, okay. Well, thanks, guys. I'm looking forward to having these weekly calls and
Bye-bye.
sharing ideas.
Yeah, and bye-bye.
I'm so glad you were able to hop on, and everyone was able to hop on. So if no one else had anything, we can just
I'm not happy.
hopefully we'll be able to do another one next Thursday at 9. All right.
Okay, bye.
Good night, guys. Love
Bye.
you.